Hey everybody, it's Alexis. Happy Monday. I am back with a brand new video talking about manifesting relationships, manifesting for your specific person. And today I am doing two things, piece double, okay, but two things is I'm answering questions that have been written in on previous videos of mine that have been sent to me. And I'm also going to talk about how do we resolve and accept and understand the past. And this is my take on how to use the common manifestation practice of revision. It seems to me that it's just a video that I need to make for everyone about how do we handle the past, especially when your specific person, the person you're choosing to recreate the relationship with, the person your heart has decided is the person, and stuff has happened, right? That comes into your mind. And let's talk about mental diet as always, all right? Before I get started, the links for booking one-on-one coaching are in the box below for with me. The links for booking one-on-one hypnosis are also there, as well as links to my pre-recorded courses, hypnosis audios. Like I've said in many videos, if you go to the website and you can't grab a session time for me, please email our receptionist at sessions@createyourfuture.co. Her name is Brandy. You won't bother her. She's used to it. And ask for my next available session. You can also use the option to put yourself on my wait list, okay? So if you look online and I'm not available, don't freak out. I'm still here. I'm just fully booked, okay? So please email in. Let's get you a spot. Let's get your manifestation journey going. And I can give you my best tips to get it started and to create exactly what you're wanting for yourself in your reality in 2025. Just a reminder, everybody, if things haven't yet happened in the way that you've expected, it is only today, the middle of March. So we still have a lot of time left in the year. So let's really embrace 2025 and create some amazing things, no matter what the heck is going on in your physical reality. And let's get you to really understand that you are the creator of your reality. How do you focus on that? How do you stay on that? Okay. So let's talk about what do we do about your SP? I'm grabbing my charger. What do you do about your specific person in your own mind when you are recreating them, recreating the relationship, and you have a history with the person? Now, this is almost everybody and everyone that I've ever worked with who has worked with me on recreating a person that you have had things happen with, okay? Now, let's come from the perspective, and it's a reminder today to remind you that you are the creator of your reality. You need to see yourself as the creator of the relationship, the creator of you, the creator of them. You have the energy of God as the creator of all that is within you that allows you to have your focused thought to start creating right here, right now, the reality of your choosing, okay? So now all that's well and good, right? But what do we do when the images, like let's say you're affirming and thinking about your person differently. You're guiding your conscious mind to be speaking to your subconscious mind throughout the day about he is this, he is that. He is calling me, he's texting me, he wants me, he needs me. He's all into me, he's all in with me. Now, for a lot of people, what begins to happen is this. You begin thinking that, choosing those thoughts strategically, systematically, and guess what the mind will do? It will bring up all the things of the past, right? It's almost like an alien invader or a freight train that comes in, tries to take over like this. And it's pictures for some people. It sounds for some people. It's a feeling of, oh, remember how bad I felt? Or seeing he did this, he did that, she did that, okay? Now, what you have to learn is a way for you to shut it down. Okay, my easiest answer that nobody ever likes is you need to get over it, okay? But today's video is about figuring out a tool that can allow you to get over it. How do you get over it? For some people, and there's a trillion videos, I remember that I heard first in my journey about forgiveness. Forgiving the person, forgiving yourself. I created this, so I forgive it. Now, for some people, that resonates. What if there was like a major thing that happened that you just feel like forgiveness doesn't resonate with you? Because I've heard that from a lot of people. What about if you try to just accept it? What I do not recommend is revising it and thinking and doing a visualization like it never happened, okay? That takes the teachings and the writings of Neville Goddard to a way overblown For my analytical, logical clients who are very focused on doing the quote unquote type A personality, the mind is going to override the new revision. So it could be a waste of your time. Okay. Instead, I want to ask you, and I want you to tell yourself, I accept it. I accept that this happened. That's a way that you can revise it instead of allowing your mind to allow the memory of them to take you out of the game. Okay. Life is a game. It is the game of life. That's a book that's written by Florence Scovel-Shinn way back in the day. So I'm referencing not only Neville, but her as well, you guys. I am not a Neville impersonator. I am not here to use the books of him and tell you what to do, manifest your SP, some clickbait thing. No. I am here to get you to understand how to use the power of your focus in your mind to create your friggin' reality. It takes a lot of multifaceted things. Also because everyone's mind is different, right? You don't necessarily have the mind of Neville. You don't have the mind of Florence. You don't have the mind of me. You have your own beautiful, intricate mind. Okay. So this is the thing. I had a comment to get to my questions and answers today. I was just like, hey, what is today's video going to be about? What do I want to talk about? I really did not feel super inspired to grab a success story. And I was like, oh, so I get sent video topic ideas, right? So I was like, let's just look at those. I haven't looked at them in a little while. And let's see. And there's one that I'm thinking of right here that I wanted to bring up. And this is talking about, okay, I have answered. This is from a subscriber. I will not comply. I love the name, by the way, because I'm the same way. I will not comply. I comply to my own compliance. You see what I'm saying? You get what I mean? Do you feel me? I'm an independent person. And so is my son, funnily enough. Okay. He's a good combo of me and my husband, but he's so independent. And I'm like, he is going to be amazing and do great things because he's going to decide his choices. Okay. So let's be in agreement. I will not comply. You will not comply. But you wrote the comment that based upon my experience with clients, do they go through depersonalization, derealization due to poor treatment by SP who is opposite of conforming? I feel like I don't exist anymore. All I recognize is fear and panic. Now, this is the thing. I will not comply. This is super common. That is the thing about consciously manifesting your reality and your relationship. It is a deep felt experience and process for each of us that, yes, I do see a lot of dysregulation, depersonalization, if you want to call it that, people feeling like they don't know who they are, which kind of typifies into your not feeling like you exist anymore statement. Now, this is the thing. That could be happening as you're changing. But remember, we are not waiting for them to conform and looking to them for information. We are deciding what is going on. If you can really embrace that, embrace what I just said. It has nothing to do with what's going on with them. It is everything to do with my choice of me and my choice of them. Now, perhaps you're saying, I've done all that, Alexis. It's been a while and they're still not conforming. Okay. I don't like the language of conforming. I didn't create that. It's a manifestation thing on YouTube. But it puts people into the mind space of they're not conforming. They are conforming, looking and checking, which we don't want to do. We just want to keep deciding. Now, for you to be able to stay on the mental diet, because probably we can go to my first topic, which was, what do we do about the past? I'm sure that the not conforming version is very much like the past and who they were. And you got to decide it's different. Instead of doing 1,000 affirmations and then being like, it's not happening. No, you have to learn how to figure out a way to accept what's happened. Like, hey, I created that. I didn't know. It's not my fault. It's who I was taught to be in relationships. You guys, it's not your fault. It is not ever your fault that you created it. In fact, you could see it like this: when you were unconscious and you didn't know these facts and these principles and these ideas, like you were so not at fault because you were just living your life unconsciously. You were under the hypnosis of your belief systems, your assumptions that now you're choosing are no longer helpful to you, no longer active, no longer what you want to be thinking. Okay. But there is no need to take on a self-blame, self-criticism. In fact, that voice of self-blame, self-criticism is where you want to begin to self-love, self-accept, and self-like. Okay. In any event, this video will probably have some tangents because I don't have a success story I'm reading and I'm going off, and I have a very solidified viewpoint about these topics. Okay. So in any event, Do I see dysregulation, and do you feel dysregulated? And it's like I'm the messenger of this information. I'm not the creator that created this. I am just here, and it's my chosen purpose to help people evolve and understand themselves. Okay. But I do see dysregulation usually when people are changing. You just don't want to say, like, I'm dysregulated, I'm this and I'm that, because they're not that and they're not that. If they were this, then I would be so regulated. Because that's putting you on hold depending on a person. And still, we don't want to do that. Okay. There was another question that was written in about hormonal dysregulation, and that the story of the specific person is so difficult to stay on. Okay. And that there is a hormonal fluctuation going along with it. My answer to this, you guys, is this. I want you to start focusing, no matter what it is. Like, let's say you have horrible, sorry, fellas, premenstrual syndrome. Let's say you have a horrible time, hormonal shifts. Let's say you're on Instagram or on TikTok these days and you have typified, Alexis, I'm perimenopausal. Oh my God, everything is wrong. Okay. This is the thing. You want to be understanding. The more that you label yourself and you take on an idea without a solution and without an affirmation to figure it out, it's so not helpful. If you, dear one, are feeling a hormonal imbalance, start regulating it and doing something about it on your own. That has nothing to do with an SP. Okay. This is everything to do with you, your physiology, your inner biology, which we all want to calibrate to have the best thoughts. Okay. Now, this is the thing. I hear everyone could be thinking, oh, but mental dialects is like, isn't it just our thoughts? Our thoughts create. Yeah. So you want to decide, I am healthy. My hormones are in balance. I am sleeping soundly. I am in great health. I am vibrant. I am vibrant. I am thriving are some great, just general health affirmations. Now, from those thoughts, you will be guided. New information will come into your purview. You will be seeing new things in your awareness, and I encourage you to do it. Okay. I don't encourage anyone to sit around having a health issue, just doing a bunch of affirmations. And you can do that. You can do that. Okay. But like, it's also like not fun. In my humble opinion, okay. If you got something going on, there's like, you're here in the physical reality. There's a million trillion things you could take to help you. Same thing, you guys, for anxiety. It doesn't need to be seeing a doctor, taking Xanax, having Xanax and wine. Okay. Like a mom, it's a stereotype of moms. Okay. That I am not part of, but it's a thing. Xanax and wine. Anyone else see that or have people in their life that do that? I intend I'm not the only one. And if that's you, I am not offended. It's your method. Okay. Just intend it works for you. But there are so many things these days. If you're on social media and you're being influenced with the diagnosis because like you fit it, okay, number one, you're creating that you see it, and then you're creating that that's you. And always get a second opinion, get more information, and then let's solve it. Let's be healthy, vibrant, healing together, having a great time, using all the resources that you can. I mean, there are so many herbal supplements, things to do, beauty routines. Just with your hormones in general, there are so many things that you can do to regulate the thyroid. If it's hyperthyroid, hypothyroid, or if you just have hormonal fluctuations, you don't need to sit with it. And if it's getting you off track with your SP, like I really encourage you to regulate yourself, because being dysregulated, here I am on a tangent, being dysregulated, if your appetite is suffering, if you're not eating, if you're not sleeping soundly, if you're feeling lethargic and you're not exercising, if you're not getting sunshine, or if you're in a part of the world where it's dark right now and you don't have enough like serotonin light, these are all things that will help foster the appropriate mental diet. Okay. Your thoughts are things and your thoughts create. And I've said this so many times, you guys, I intend everyone hears this time. You got to do whatever you can do to keep yourself even-keeled, stable, balanced, safe, and secure. This is the thing. If you're not sleeping and you're having health fluctuations and you're also not eating, you could be having blood sugar spikes. So all this stuff could be causing what you think is anxiety. And there's just an answer to it instead of like, oh, my SP2, they're not here and this and that. No, we don't want to do that. We want to get you stable, secure, focused. Okay. Because if a lot of time of your mind is focused on what you don't want, you're creating what you don't want. We need you to focus intently on what you do want, because your thoughts create. Okay. So in any event, I've just answered 2 questions that have been written in, and I'm also answering, how do we get over the past? We have to revise, right? Have a new meaning. Like, hey, that happened. It is really no big deal. It does not get to determine what is happening with us. We are reconciling. We are getting back together. He is into me now more than ever. He wants me. He needs me, right? So as you do that, the mind will try to bring up the old information, you guys, just because that's what it's good at. Does it mean anything? You don't even have to hyper focus on it. You don't need a boatload of affirmations that are the opposite. You got to know, like, oh, right, my mind is doing what it's so good at, which is that it's used to thinking those thoughts. So it's trying to get me to think those thoughts too. That's it. But guess what? I'm in charge of my mind now, and I am focusing. Okay. Now let me see if there is another question. Jumping around a bit here in today's video, but that is what I felt like would help everybody. Okay. So yes, if you're having a health issue, please take care of the health issue by number one, deciding you're different. Okay. And having an affirmation simply like, I am healthy, I am in balance, my hormones are in balance if it's hormonal, okay, whatever it is. I'm finding solutions for my problem, and then adding that in and being able to focus on your specific person. I can't say it enough, you guys. If you're all over the place and you're kind of we hear that word a lot also in social media, dysregulated, if you're blah, 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 you don't have a focus, right? Get determined to be empowered, confident, and focused. Okay, you see how I'm saying this? Determined, confident, and focused. Now, it takes a lot of learning to get this and really get it and stick with it. It's a whole new way of looking at things. It's a whole new habit. You know, I was eating breakfast this morning, and I thought, because I'm always like, what's the video going to be like about? I think about it for a couple of hours, and then here I am, and then it's on YouTube, okay? I was thinking, oh my gosh, like, it is so different to be the creator of your reality, like just the idea of that. And a lot of people have found this from previous information that's not helpful, such as Alexis, is there divine timing? In my opinion, no, there is not. In fact, you create the timing to be something divine, but you create it. Okay. Now, and that's to say, like, divine timing could be that before you came here, you had an idea of like kids you would have, like major, major, major life things. But even that, we really don't know. What we do know is that your thoughts are things and your thoughts create. And there's enough information about where we go, where we're from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that leads me to believe like maybe you would choose that, but then maybe you could unchoose it and be like, hey, like this life, I'm not doing that. I've done that a lot. I'm not doing that. Okay. But being the creator, being the script writer, being at the epicenter of your reality even goes, it's a step higher than so many spiritual teachings, even like tarot cards, for example, right? Tarot cards are a push out of your personal stuff. They're a reflection of you, okay? They're not a power that has a divine decision that has some answer that then can determine you. No, it's the opposite. You are them, they are you, they're reflecting you, and that's that, okay? But a lot of us came into this with like eons ago of like the spiritual idea of like the universe, blah, 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 and none of it's true. You are the epicenter of it. But you got to reiterate this and persist it and get it as concepts for it to fully become a solidified part of you. And that's speaking from my own personal journey and what I've seen everybody go through, because this contradicts. It's you're leveling up in a whole huge way. But hey, listen, if you're watching this video, you found this, you're ready for it. So just like go forwards, okay? And if you've watched enough of this content, if you've worked with me, if you're working on not having to change yourself in love, changing that you have to change, right, is a one way to look at it. You got to keep going. You're not going to forget this, right? That's the other thing. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can grab any other. Just give me a second, everybody, please. All right. And some of these topics, questions are from a while ago. Oh, I love this one. You know, I think I might have already answered it. Let's talk about it again. Do I have a prescribed way of when or how to affirm, set aside time, or whenever the SP comes into your mind? You know, I had a client this week that I said, listen, it's never going to be enough that whenever he comes into your mind, you do some affirmations. That might be further along, like after he's come back, after you've seen a lot of evidence, things have changed, et cetera, et cetera. But no, that's not going to be enough. I don't recommend it because it's like saying, oh, like I kind of want, it's just like, no. As a conscious creator, it's our job to be having time, making the time. And if you're thinking right now, I don't have the time, listen, you have the time. Okay. Frankly speaking, if you're saying I don't have the time to do a focused list of thoughts about creating my reality, then do you have the same excuse for everything else? You just got to make time for stuff. Take the perspective this year, 2025, I am making time for things that make me important because I'm the most important person. Reality comes from me. So I'm going to make time for it. It's a non-negotiable. It needs to be a non-negotiable for you. And at first, as a foundational practice, I say multiple times a day. And then you can go down to like every other day, once a week. But the best thing for your mind is to have a habit of how do you affirm? How do you focus? Having focused thought, focused time. And now listen, you're always thinking something. So it could also be all of the time. I don't really think that's necessary. We just need a lot of thoughts of what you want, of the desired reality for it to be properly created, manifested outside of you. Okay. So yeah, I love this question. Most people need to be focusing and having really focused thought of, okay, I'm the creator of my reality. All of this comes from me. Are you kidding me? Like, okay. Anyways, so this comes from me. That's crazy. I'm getting this. And this is what's happening. Guess what? He is into me. He does want me. He does need me. He's moving his life around for me. I'm good enough. I am the one that is wanted. I am the one that is chosen. I am the one that is cherished. Those are basic affirmations. I am not asking you or telling you to add them in or to choose them, but that would be a time of focus. But it's got to come, you guys. It's not from like, oh, I'm saying some affirmations and I'm just doing this and I kind of want this, I kind of don't. I'm kind of just like thinking about him and I'm going to flip the thought. I don't like that whole thing. I want you to set aside time, make it a priority because you need to be your biggest priority. This is about you. It's not about them. It isn't about overthinking about someone. It's not about somebody on a pedestal. To get somebody off a pedestal, you need to make you the most important person, the most important everything than anything else. Okay. So now given that, how do you do your affirmations? My formula is always, you want to have 60 to 70% focused on you. I am statements of who am I now? And this is tricky, you guys, because I don't want it to be like, I am the one that he loves. No. I am loved. Okay. It's got nothing to do with them. And then choosing the thoughts of who are they? What are they doing? And that takes some fine tuning. That's what I'm here for. If you think that you're hitting a head against a wall, let me help you figure it out and to get precise, to get concise, and to remind you lovingly every time that you do create your reality and that we have to keep going. Okay. So that's my video for today. Let's figure out a way to get you to overcome the past by accepting it. Stop over focusing on it and stop letting that thing that comes into the mind stay, right? It's your job. It's your job to figure out a way of, okay, so this comes in. I'm not listening to it. I am deciding now who they are and what is happening. You guys, this is some of the bravest work you can ever do. My clients are warriors. Those people that you've seen that become a success story, they have usually been through hell and back with a person, relationships, and themselves. They've had deep, dark nights of the soul. They have had boatloads of tissues with me. I mean, crying, upset, snot flying, okay? Which is the hardest thing for me as a coach because I'm fully remote, at this time, and I can't actually be there and even hold your hand, but I hold space for you to be exactly who you need to be, to process and release and let go as you reclaim the version of you that is loved, adored, chosen, and wanted. Okay. So this is not an easy thing. What I'm asking you to do and how to focus on this and just stop thinking about all that. Okay. That takes a lot of practice, consistent practice, but through practicing it, I promise you it's going to click. I promise you that the more that you practice and the more that you self-reclaim, right? It's going to come together and it will make sense. So if that's you right now, if you got a box of tissues as you watch this and you got snot flying and your heart is so hurt and you're feeling so devastated by what's happened with them in your relationship, I want to tell you lovingly with so much compassion that the best is yet to come. This has all been created for you by you to grow, evolve, change. Most of us grow and evolve and change in our relationships through breakups, makeups, things happening. They allow us to now choose the reality, affirm for the reality that we want, and it will come together. And you got to stay with it. All right. I love you guys, and have a wonderful week wherever you are in the world. Celebrate yourself today, every day this week. If you're having an issue, affirm for a solution. Let's get you healthy, thriving, happy, focused to create the best year you've had yet. All right. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.